Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about Age of Mythology Retold, a remaster of the 2002 classic action RPG that over the years garnered a cult following and nostalgia-inducing factor, representing a different era of the video game industry when RTS genre was extremely popular, with titles like Rise of Nations, Warcraft, Command & Conquer, Age of Empires, and so on. I mean, the list goes. In a lot of those games, I spent huge amount of time, being that one of the only games I had on my first really bad old PC was Stronghold. It was one of the titles that sold me onto the genre. Age of Mythology was one of those games as well, so when I saw the reveal trailer where they said they wanted to remaster it, tune up the systems and release it, I was intrigued to see more. And I had about 7 days to play the game thanks to the actual publishers because I received a review copy through Keymailer, so I had enough time to play and go over everything. And there was a lot of nostalgia in play as soon as I logged in and heard the iconic soundtrack. You remember those good times from before, but I didn't let it, skew my opinion because I have been careful about remakes and remasters, not even lately, but in general. Game features a lot right from the start with the regular skirmish mode where you can select what sort of a match you want to play, with how many AI enemies that you can change into either regular, attacker or defender mode, meaning if you will be attacked or if your AI opponent will focus on defense more so you can attack. Besides that, it also has settings for maps, game speeds and other rules like allowing titans and so on. It also features campaigns like Fall of the Trident, Golden Gift and the New Atlantis, with mythical battles and a tutorial which I do recommend in general. I mean, I forgot a lot about this game and I was never a min-max sort of a guy in these titles, so I always go for a more normal, casual experience. Also, campaigns serve as a tutorial in a sense because they put you in bigger and bigger scenarios, so you can slowly adapt to making units, your town, advancing ages, using abilities from gods to achieve your goals and so on. There is also a tech tree showing what each god focuses on, especially when it comes to units, because that would tell you on which units to focus on to achieve the most throughout each age. And also on the modding side, Age of Mythology mods page returns where you can download all sorts of things from icons, maps, scenarios, which is a nice option to have both for new and returning players. There is no LAN option in Retold, but as far as I can see you can make private matches online so your friends can join. And the LAN is one of those things now where one side doesn't really care much because, well, landscape has changed, and on the other, they want to have it as an option, and yeah, it would be nice to have it, but I don't really expect it from the industry today, being that I accept the fact that industry, at least in the AAA, has moved away from it. Now when it comes to general changes, there is one with a minor god, as Sobek was added instead of Hathor, and is available to Ra and Isis Tech Tree. Now there is also the Wonder Age or the 5th Age, which replaces Titan Age, added in the Age of Mythology The Titans expansion, but also do keep in mind that in the vanilla game you are basically researching the same thing, so that now as soon as you basically finish constructing a wonder, you're gonna be going into that 5th Age. But you don't get anything specific from it, and you can always go back to previous Mythic Age or well Age 4. There are no units like Elephant of Set, Herdman, Godi and others, including new or reworked technologies and maps. They also replaced Wonder Victory condition with Settlement Victory. Units are able to collide or push other units now. They removed population and favor caps. I mean, the entire list is huge, so I will leave a link to all of the changes so you can go through it yourself. Tale of the Dragon expansion from 2016 is also not available in Retold right now, but it seems it's going to be an upcoming expansion, so they're going to re-release that as well, so we shall see what happens in the future. On the graphical side, it looks great while still retaining the feel of the original, at least that's what it was like for me, with decent frame rate even on highest settings, but as much as I enjoyed it, I didn't want to push it too far, but on that side, I mean, I just love what they did with graphics. On the gameplay side though, it was a lot of fun to play this. I even had to put up my phone to track the time because it's easy to lose track of it in these sort of titles, and for a good few matches I was reminding myself on how to play, but most of the core idea is the same. That means making villagers to mine for resources and then using those resources to make buildings and go into new ages, including, well, your army. Each age unlocks new units and buildings where you can build units in all forms, from humans, hero, myth ones that work better or worse against other types of troops. Then by making those units, your goal is to attack your opponent and destroy their town center and win the game alongside with a wonder later on, depending on which sort of a game mode you're gonna be playing, because there is a few. So distributing your resources evenly across units to buildings and its research to upgrade damage, defense and HP is recommended, and also making sure you have defenses as well, which goes from towers to just actual units defending your town. On top of that, with the god you select, you have their abilities, and from minor gods, depending in which direction you're going to go into, to basically use in the game in order to win. That's one of the things which set this game apart when it was released, and it's one of the things you have to get used to doing because, well, your opponent is gonna be doing it as well. That means going from like simple healing to other gods which can cause many things, like for example creating a portal, then having a rainstorm, an earthquake, you know, all those sorts of things. I tried a few skirmishes against AI, and to be honest, it was a bit weird from time to time with them making some questionable decisions, and I noticed that good unit distribution from two sides really confuses them, but it also comes in different difficulty options, so higher ones can be insanely tough to beat, where they will min-max and play really fast to overpower you. I mean, this is not an easy game, it's an easy game to learn, but a very difficult game to master. Of course, you can tune it up to your liking with difficulty. You can put easy, for example, if you're just new to this and you want to learn everything. But the core of it requires a lot of planning, you know, reading tech trees and in general having a tactic, especially if you're going into multiplayer. Soundtrack is like the original, very immersive as it plays in the background with similar effects of, you know, spawning units, voice lines they do and so on. One of the things I did after that was play through the campaign, because for me that's what I liked the most before, because it gave me enough challenge and it's nice to remind myself of a lot of things I forgot, and in general I love mythology, so just playing through this was a lot of fun. Although as far as I noticed, unit pathing can be a bit weird, with them either stopping or going in a strange trajectory when I want them to attack something and they kinda go too far on that trajectory, which can cause some issues. Nothing major, but I did notice it a few times. And also I got a few bugs with units glitching into the actual ground, but besides that it was a smooth experience. In general, I'm very happy with the remaster. Hopefully it does introduce new people to the game and the genre. Of course, original will always be the original, but having an updated, refined version that was a good decision. The price is €20.99 dollars or your region equivalent, with a premium edition going for $49.99. And you also have the Legacy Deity Portrait pack for $5.99, but I would not recommend getting this. The soundtrack though, well, that's up to you. Retold managed to capture my attention instantly, and a lot of that can be contributed to nostalgia, but this remaster is done well, so it manages to hold it, because nostalgia can only go so far if the game is not good. But getting this almost 22 years later was a nice and welcoming surprise. It got a lot of attention to where it can be called a remaster and not just an upscaled, you know, textures pack, so on that side I'm really happy with what they have done. Other people agree with this as well, it seems, with currently, as of recording this video, Age of Mythology Retold sits at the 87% positive on Steam and 20,000 concurrent players. Again, on Steam, we can't see numbers on Xbox because it's also out for Series X and S. And that's everything for today. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more, because Age of Mythology is just one of those games that I'm going to keep returning to in like the next few months, because I always like to go back to this and play a match or two to see like how things were before, and it kind of reminds me that maybe we need more RTS games like these. Luckily there are some. Right now, a lot of that has been going forward. You had a lot of like indie RTS titles coming out in the past, you know, few months, so that's very good. And also don't forget to join our community on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.